Good afternoon. Yesterday, soon after the verdict on Rana had come from Chicago, the BJP chief spokesperson had given our view on the matter. Today, after hearing the statements made by the Home Ministry officials, we reiterate our position. We reiterate our position very clearly, feeling that the government probably all the while has been giving an impression that it is unwilling to go deeper into the investigation of this matter. We really do not know, and we wonder if it is a case of negligence, or is it a case of lethargy, or is it reluctance to get into deeper details so that material evidence which is missing to pin down Rana, which in a way has been very clearly established in the courts there about his link with the Lashkar-e-Taiba, and the fact that his operations, which were set up in Mumbai by Headley, were funded by ISI, are all on the record. And it is for us now to take the Indian case forward to make sure that the details and the material evidence required to establish these facts are meticulously collected and presented. More importantly, Rana had admitted there that he was aware that he was helping Headley in gathering intelligence material against India, from India, for Pakistan. If that kind of an admission has been made, and very clearly for whatever reason the American courts have not really found him guilty for doing comparable crime in Mumbai, but convicted him for a crime which is similar for the case regarding Denmark, it is for us now to ensure that we don't have any gap in our material collection, in our prosecution related matters, and to ensure that we get Rana to India and put him to trial here. However, the main question that we would wish to ask today is, Rana wasn't under a plea bargain agreement with the prosecutors in the US. So when our investigation team went to the US to access and interrogate Headley, did they attempt to access and interrogate Rana at that time? We do not know. We certainly need to know it. Was there an attempt at all to interrogate Rana, who has admitted now, of course we know, but we had evidences earlier to believe that he had links with Lashkar-e-Taiba. Did we at least attempt to interrogate him? He was not under the plea bargain. Was there an attempt to get him extradited to India? These are very relevant questions which we need to have answers, because our fight against terror is something which we have to earnestly attempt to strengthen and not wait, certainly, for somebody else to do the job for us. The Home Ministry statement that they will be, after due looking into the verdict which has come from the Chicago court, filing, the NIA would be filing charge sheet, does not inspire confidence, because now 2 years have passed by. We have had a lot of developments. Only 7 people are arrested in Pakistan, whose case Pakistan claims is fast-tracked, but substantial progress is not seen till today. And this in the light of India proceeding with a composite Indo-Pak dialogue. when we had very clearly said we will not proceed with talks till concrete, substantial steps are taken. The real masterminds behind the 26/11 tragedy are roaming free in Pakistan. We are unable to exert ourselves in having the trials go faster in Pakistan, nor are we able to access Rana in the US. I think the government of India will have to now answer several questions on how seriously and how well organized their approach is in getting these people to books. The other issue which we would like to put on record today is the Congress party's attempt to label anyone who asks them uncomfortable questions about corruption and black money as an agent of RSS or BJP RSS caucus. They use very many words to label people and also charge them, instead of answering those pertinent questions that they ask, they charge them with destabilizing the government, conspiring to war against the government, and also to attempt and unseat the government. These are typical language which became infamous during the emergency and pre-emergency days. The very same words are being used, the very same phobias are being whipped up by the Congress, and surely, therefore, the ministers in the government today speak the same language. This is a very clear attempt of the Congress party not to answer uncomfortable questions, particularly when charges of corruption fall at their doorstep. This happened earlier, let me just recall, during the emergency, when Jaiprakash Narayan was earlier called a CIA agent and subsequently called an RSS agent. Acharya Kripalani was called an RSS agent. And during the Bofors, we all remember, VP Singh was called an RSS agent. Congress's phobia never changes, and when they don't have the right answers to give, and when they don't have steps to take to control corruption, they resort to this communal argument and push the agenda saying it's all perpetrated by the RSS. It's high time the Congress party rose to the occasion and honestly attempted to give us answers. Actually waging war against the government of India, against the state, has been a declared goal of the Maoists. The government believes that they should engage in a dialogue with them. The separatists from Kashmir come to Delhi and speak in such very clear, seditious ways. But even there, the government would want to take an approach of, we would like to talk to them. But here, when people are peacefully protesting and asking questions not of sedition or of seditious nature, but on corruption, on black money, they are being beaten black and blue, and they're being extradited, in the sense they're being externment order is being given to them. The approach of the Congress party and the government led by them is very clearly anti-people. There's one last issue which I just flag off for today. We'll certainly come back on it with lots more details. You must have come across a very elaborate report in one of the magazines regarding the night vision device supply to the paramilitary forces. The CBI in that case, even in 2010, had highlighted it is about 1,000 crore rupees scandal, rupees 1,000 crores scandal, where equipments which are absolutely necessary for the paramilitary forces to fight the Maoists have been given in such a poor quality. Corruption is involved in the procurement, At the end of the day, the government is clearly playing with the lives of people who are fighting in adverse circumstances. There is absolutely no care for the lives of people who are fighting to keep India intact. We understand a CBI inquiry is going into the matter, but we certainly demand now that the Congress party keep away from covering up this scandal. The official has been suspended, we are told, official from the Home Ministry. But I don't think 1,000 rupees scandal, 1,000 crores of rupees scandal can just stop with that junior official. I'm sure there's a larger picture which we'll come back to you on. 1,000 crore rupees scandal in the procurement of an important defense and paramilitary equipment could not just be something which a junior official would have managed to do. As I said earlier, we'll come back to you on it. Thank you. इतना effective नहीं रहेगी आप please. It's okay.
Ma'am, Anna Hazare has said that Baba Ramdev is not mature enough to lead a social movement as he does not have expertise other than yoga. So how would your party react?
Our party responds to the two movements, one of Anna Hazare and Ramdev Baba, is on the matter of issues related to corruption and black money. We are with them fully on that. And there are pertinent questions raised both by Anna and by Baba. And the government is duty bound to answer them, just as they are duty bound to answer the opposition party, who they did not answer in the parliament. Now the civil society has come onto the roads asking the very same questions, which in the parliament they failed to answer the opposition. And they even blamed the opposition of stalling the parliament. Now they are blaming the civil society organizations, saying you can't be doing this. You can't come to the streets even peacefully to protest because they don't have answers. Our stand is very clear. We are with people who are questioning the government on corruption and black money.
There is a perception that the BJP is more vocal and explicit in supporting Ramdev more than Anna Hazare. Is it true?
We are supportive of the causes for which both of them stand. And as much as I've known, Anna Hazare's movement did not want any political parties to be seen around there, if I understand correct. We have not made any attempts there. But very clearly, if political parties are not seen there, it is because I guess that they didn't want them. But the cause is dear to us, and we will support people's movement on this matter.
And Law Minister Veerappa Moily has said that there is no question of formal talks with Ramdev on the same.
That doesn't surprise me because they didn't intend to do one, I think, although they pretended to go to the airport to talk with him.
My issue is related to Kachatti issue. The government of India says it's a finished chapter, the chapter may not be reopened. Whereas a couple of days back, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu was a resolution in Assembly stating that the issue will be reopened and also they are going to take up very seriously with the Prime Minister and the government of India. What is your BJP's reaction?
Well, if the Tamil Nadu Assembly has passed a resolution and the issue of Kachativu has been for a very long time a disturbing factor in Tamil Nadu politics. However, in the light of the resolution which is passed in Tamil Nadu in the Assembly, I think it is important for us to respond, for the government of India to respond as to how they look at it, look at the resolution of Tamil Nadu Assembly.
निर्मला जी, एक सवाल है। आज आरएसएस ने अपील की है मोहन भागवत ने बाबा रामदेव से कि वो अपना अनशन खत्म कर दें। क्या बीजेपी भी अपील करेगी बाबा रामदेव से?
BJP is worried about Baba Ramdev's health, and we wish his health improves and the cause for which he's been fighting should continue.
मैम आपको लगता है कि बाबा रामदेव वहाँ पर उनका इलाज चल रहा है देहरादून में, तो वहाँ से बेहतर है दिल्ली में एम्स जैसे संस्थान है, दिल्ली शिफ्ट करके यहाँ पर इलाज किया जाए?
मेडिकल डिटेल्स के बारे में मुझे जानकारी नहीं है, इसीलिए मैं उसके ऊपर टिप्पणी नहीं दूंगा। बीजेपी Well, we'll find out. We'll find out and let you know if anybody has spoken or if they're planning to speak. I'll let you know.
Chhattisgarh has, I mean, every second, third day, now 2 days running, it's in the news for this Naxal attack. Now, while obviously Naxal problem is also a problem of the center, but has the state completely washed its hands off? Like, after all, Andhra Pradesh also under YSR earlier made concerted effort, and Naxalism has practically, I mean, was much controlled in Andhra Pradesh, which was earlier in the news every second day like this. But Chhattisgarh seems to be unrelenting now.
Well, I don't think Chhattisgarh government has washed off. I don't agree at all with that statement that you're making. The government is seized of the matter. It has its difficulties in handling the Naxal issue there. It's a far more complicated case. Andhra Pradesh's history in dealing with Naxal issues is completely on a different plank. I think Chhattisgarh is doing its very best. Repeated occurrences there will have to be looked into. I'm sure the government will engage in it.
On the POSCO issue, last few weeks there has been a lot of resistance put up by local communities there in Jagatsinghpur, especially with more than 1,000 policemen present there, trying to get the land acquisition in place. What is the BJP stand? Are they concerned about what could possibly ensue there in case there is?
See, on issues such as this, I think it is the union government which has to be very clear on how the environment clearances are being given. I can, from the instances which I've been closely following, particularly in Andhra Pradesh, tell you that the Environment Ministry clears on the basis of information that it has at any point in time in its hand. And subsequently also says, no, probably we'll relook at it. There is a lot of ambivalence in the positions that Environment Ministry takes in giving clearance and post-giving clearance too. This is definitely leading to a lot of confusion in the minds of people. At times it looks as if the government has taken a position to clear it. And another time it says, no, clearances were not appropriate, so we like to look at it. Inciting a certain sense of hope among the people, saying there could be a better deal coming for them. So I think the ambivalence in giving clearances is something which the government will have to seriously look into and deal with all these people-related development issues in a far more concerted way. The differences between one ministry with another which wants to promote industry, Environment Ministry which is enthusiastically and justifiably protecting the environment, there doesn't seem to be a match. And I think that is very important a factor in causing the disturbances.
But in this particular case in Jagatsinghpur right now, activists say that it's almost a non-ground kind of a situation. It's very tense. Women, children are also living in fear there because of the police presence in a large number.
It's a repeating pattern. I'm not trying to, undermine the importance of the situation there. It is a repeating pattern. It was the same case in Visakhapatnam and Sompeta, which I've gone and seen myself. The government there and the government now in Orissa will have to look at it with a far more understanding of what the people want rather than stick by the rule book, which anyway is periodically flaunted.
Can you tell us how much land and at what price and what term have the Uttarakhand government and the Himachal government during the BJP rule given to Baba Ramdev?
I'll have to find out and let you know. I don't have off the cuff the details. I'll certainly get it for you sometime.
No, I mean, so many reports have appeared in the press. You're neither denying them nor are you accepting them. So many reports have already appeared in the newspaper.
I'm sure, but I wouldn't want to comment on it based on what I've heard from you or I've read in the papers. Certainly get you information.
You're not denying any of those reports.
I will get you the information which you want and after which you may talk.
Since 1 week, these stories have been appearing.
I'm sure, yes, but today's press did not intend to address that issue, so we will get it when you want it. Thank you. I have no idea of what information you're giving. Once I get the information, I'll come back to you. I have no idea. Thank you. I'll give you when I get it. Obviously.
Thank you.
Thanks.